Hey, I've been living with the A2 Plus every day for weeks, so let me talk to you like someone who's actually heard what better audio feels like instead of just reading specs. You're the kind of person who notices when sound on your computer feels flat or lifeless, when music doesn't fill the room, when game effects sound like they're coming from tiny speakers instead of inside your space. That little disappointment you feel every time you press play, you've felt it enough to know there's something better, and once you hear it, you won't go back. Before anything else, check the current price and stock. Compact systems this capable don't stay predictable forever, and hesitation usually ends with paying more later or settling for something weaker. There's always a specific moment where you realize your old setup just isn't enough. For me, it was during a long night of music and gaming. Melodies lacked warmth, explosions sounded thin, and I kept turning the volume up hoping for richness that never came. That quiet frustration, reaching for the dial again and again, is what tells you it's time for an upgrade. The first time you sit down with these speakers, there's an almost immediate sense of clarity you didn't know you were missing. Dialogue in games feels anchored and present instead of distant. Music suddenly reveals layers you didn't realize were there, like vocals floating above instruments instead of buried behind them. Even quiet scenes stop feeling hollow, and that shift, it's subtle but real. You feel it every time you switch between songs and they actually sound like recordings instead of compressed files. You notice it during long gaming sessions where sound cues feel clear and intentional. You feel it when movies on your desktop suddenly have presence instead of just background noise. It's like your ears settle into the experience instead of skimming over it. This isn't about raw loudness. It's about balance and richness. The way sound spreads naturally instead of just blasting forward. The way Bluetooth feels stable instead of glitchy. The way 24-bit audio feels clean instead of harsh. Everything feels considered, not thrown together. Don't assume prices and stock will stay easy. Systems tuned this well tend to get attention, and once people catch on, availability shifts quietly. If you're hesitating because you think compact speakers can't deliver real depth, let me reframe that: these do. They fill your space with sound that feels present, not shallow. You stop wondering if they're enough and just feel that they are. One surprise benefit that hits after a few uses is how fatigue-free listening feels. Songs don't wear you out after long sessions. Dialogue stays clear without cranking volume. You actually enjoy longer listening without strain, and that changes how often you use your setup. Owning something like this actually changes how you think about desktop audio. You don't settle for thin sound anymore. You don't mute frustration and tell yourself it's fine. You hear the difference, every time. Sound feels rich and full, dialogue stays clear and grounded, music feels layered and alive, every scene feels intentional and warm, listening becomes effortless and natural. It's not going to drown out a full room. If you want earth-shaking bass, you may add a sub at some point. You stop looping through weaker options. You stop settling for almost enough. You choose what genuinely satisfies, and every time you glance at lesser speakers, you come right back here because this already feels right. Check the current price and availability now. Decide while this configuration still makes sense for you, so this isn't one of those upgrades you delay and quietly regret later.